So my thoughts on WWE and All Elite Wrestling. Let's look at the differences here. Well, let's see. Talent-wise, WWE's lost a lot. Budget cuts, all this bullshit, but they're making billions of dollars anyway, so that's whatever. And then you have All Elite Wrestling. Up and coming brand, used to success, been successful ever since they started. It's really kicked ass and opened a lot of fucking doors from some serious talent. WWE has kind of had talent, lost talent, people have been fired, or been released, they come and go. It's not the same, really. It's become a very different spectacle to me, just based on what the fans have seen through the business. And you look at All Elite now, they've done so many creative things, it just like, it fucking blows your mind. Like, holy shit, this is actually good wrestling. This is actually very entertaining. This is not as boring as you think it is, and it's not. And if you watch WWE, they're kind of at this, not as the same level as All Elite Wrestling. They're just at the lower level of it. They're at the bottom of the barrel where they've, only kicked their ass, and WWE's kind of been like the second biggest company in the world, but not even close to what All Elite's become. So I would say All Elite's first and WWE's like second. And, I know WWE's been around for a very long time. They've kind of taken the position, but to me, if I had to knock that out of that category, it would be. But I mean, you look at All Elite Wrestling. People would battle it back and forth to see what's good and what's not, and I couldn't say, do really have anybody choose what they watch and how they watch wrestling, but I've kind of gone a different direction where I know what's good and what's not. You know the tricks and the trades. You've seen it all, and I look for something that's good, something that really blows your mind. And you look at something like All Elite Wrestling, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get the team. You're gonna get a couple extreme moments here and there, not as often, but you're getting some good quality entertainment where you're not bored out of your fucking mind half the time when you watch WWE. You're just like, okay, this is fun. Oh, now this sucks. The matches in WWE have kind of died down so much now. You just get tired of seeing the same old bullshit. You're seeing, people team up. You're seeing things change. I mean, it's become a very different kind of spectacle to me where that's something that you don't ever expect to see out of the WWE, but only you see whatever the hell you think you can see and whatever they come up with. I mean, it's really been a very interesting time for All Elite Wrestling where they've kicked some serious ass. They opened a lot of serious doors. You're getting some serious kick ass talent, and you look at WWE, it's just the exact opposite. You're not seeing the exact same excitement where they're just desperate to pull in anybody they can get just to throw in a match, just to make it entertaining again. While All Elite Wrestling has been just bombing it through, kicking ass, blowing up like crazy, making an explosion, really taking its course to success. While WWE just sits there and look lost. I mean, they do what they can to survive, but that's a limit that they couldn't really hold on to for that period of time where that part of it's gone, and it hasn't died off for them yet, but it's kind of at that point where you're just like, okay, half the roster is gone, everybody's been released or fired, everybody who used to be there have gone to other places or just moved on. It's just not as good as it was back in the Attitude Era. And now it's just like, what is this shit? You really just scratch your head a lot, and you really wonder why the hell are they still doing what they're doing? They're playing around too. They play too much. Feels like it's all just jokes around. You're not seeing so many serious matches, but you're seeing just a lot of desperation out of it, and it really just like, what the hell's going on? When you look at All Elite Wrestling, you're just like, okay, this is cool, this is awesome. They've done bigger and better things. They're getting ideas out there that actually work for the business. They're not screwing around, fucking around, doing dumb shit. They're doing things that will entertain us as fans, really bring in good profits, really make it a phenomenon of success, and they know what the hell they're doing. They're not a bunch of morons that sit there with their thumbs up their ass thinking, oh, what do we do next? No. They know what they're doing. They know wrestling. They know how to put on a good show, and they got it down pat. I mean, Tony Khan knows what he's doing, and as he's running his company, Cody's again, he's the vice president of the company. he knows what he wants out of it. No hands down, no matter where he goes. But that is good quality entertainment, hands down for me. Where you know what you're gonna expect. You're not gonna expect some random ass bullshit that's gonna blow over somewhere else, and even All Elite's doing an Owen Hart tournament, which is nice. That's respect. That is major respect, and nothing against Dudley, but it took them forever to really do something like that for Owen Hart, and they never did. Out of respect for that, that's kind of pity. I mean, it's sad that they didn't really choose that anyway. I mean, I'm surprised that the wife even of Owen Hart even agreed to it. I mean, it probably took some time to really get her to really do something like that because she never wanted to deal with WWE ever again after what happened. But things may have blown over, changed their mind about some certain situations. But again, that's just like, okay, that's a severe kick in the nuts to really take that torch and bring it to the other side, and so here we go, we got something that you could have had, but it just wasn't gonna succeed that way. And it's kind of, it is or isn't funny to a certain point in time where you're like, okay, they could have done something really good with this company, really lured it into success here, and made it something. But you can't turn away the facts that they do what they can to make it there, and the talent's not as great as it used to be, and just not as entertaining. You still get a little bit of both out of it, but when you look at the rosters for All Elite Wrestling now, I mean, it's fucking jam packed with talent. It's just like you never expected to see anybody from another company just come over there. You never expected it in years. No one ever did. No one thought, Jericho would be there, Miro, Matt Hardy, Christian, and Sean Spears, FTR, Jeff Hardy. I mean, you never expected to see anybody from another company over there ever. CM Punk's there. I mean, it's completely mind blowing to me how one business had it all, and another one picked it up and just became successful. I mean, it's just like, hands down, it's insane to me. I mean, you don't know what to expect out of, WWE, and only it's got it all. I mean, it's just they got Swerve, Regal, Bryan, Bryan Dennison, Moxley. I mean, it's just fucking insane. You don't know who's gonna be there next. You don't know what to expect. Andrade Alito's over there, Vicky Guerrero's over there. I mean, it's just like, you just never expect to see any of that ever happen. In history, you never thought that one business would screw over everybody else and become such a huge success where you would see Ruby Soho. I mean, you see anybody that you imagine would drop into that business now and say, okay, this is a great business. They're happy, they're successful, and then and they mean it. They're really not bullshitting. They're really fucking happy over there, and that's just like, that's great. That's something that, as a fan and people who love this stuff, really understand it from anybody's perspective. This is what wrestling is. I mean, it's not anything negative towards WWE at all, and they're successful. They've done it for years. They've built their own brand. They've done what they could, but when it comes down to it, you've lost the battle. You've lost so many good opportunities to keep people around, even if they didn't want to stay, or whatever the choices were. It just sucks to see something like that slowly fall apart and crumble, where you need talent, but how long are they gonna survive there for? I mean, that's really taking something like this to a certain limit, where All Elite kind of pick up the scraps for them, and they've succeeded while they're just sitting there lost out of their fucking minds, like, okay, what the hell do we do now? That they couldn't have done then. I mean, it's nothing really that can settle a decent argument between both brands. I mean, people can choose whatever the hell they want, watch whatever the hell they want. It don't matter. But when you know something's good, you stick with it. And again, I've stuck with WWE for a very good period of time, and then it's just like I stopped, and then you watch something like All Elite Wrestling, it just blows your mind. I mean, it really takes it to the next level of success, where it's gonna be good. You're not gonna get bullshit. You're not gonna get lied to. You're not gonna get screwed over. I mean, you actually have a decent show to put on, and they've done that. I mean, they've kind of really taken it to the next level of success where it's up there, and now you look at it and it's just like, oh, this is great, this is awesome, this is what we need. You got it. But between WWE, it's just become a very different kind of perspective for me. How things like that could have been better for them, but they chose just to let it slide and not even look at the facts where they're losing. I mean, they're literally losing their own battle because that's just how it is. It's nothing to really say that we expected to see, but we never thought this would happen in history. No one ever did. No one thought you would see Adam Cole. No one thought you'd see Kyle O'Reilly, or Bobby Fish. You never thought you see anybody in Elite Wrestling like that. But when it comes down to it, when people know what they want to do with their careers, they know where to go. You know. But with WWE, you just don't know where that door's gonna open. You don't know if you want to open that door or close it. That's kind of really putting it in at least a decent perspective. From anybody's point. So again, it's your boy Big OG. Till then, peace.